Southern Californians, especially those of you in the Inland Empire, North and South Orange County, this message is for you. If you have any shred of attention deficit disorder and you are tempted to skip through this video or not listen to it at all, you are going to miss some very important information that could change your life if you are willing to take a stand for the truth. And the truth is that Southern California, as well as this entire state, is on the verge of collapse. It may not look that way because of the rise in real estate and the field day that all of these property barons and investors are having at the expense of other people. Before I get into that, I'd like you to take a trip back in time with me. I'm an Orange County gal. I was raised in the city of Orange, and as my family prospered, I spent a great deal of my time in Laguna Beach and Dana Point, enjoying the sand and sun, traveling to Catalina on our boat and relaxing on the weekends. Back in the day, Orange County was a community where individuals who were struggling in life received a hand up instead of a hand out. That means that if you were a single mother, you were given the opportunity to walk into a job and receive hands-on training. You were guided to the appropriate apartment rental, and you were encouraged to climb the ladder through hard work and integrity. I remember getting my first apartment. I was barely 18 years old. I had no problem finding it. I found it in a matter of hours, put the deposit down, and was immediately moving in. It was an amazing time to be a young person on this earth. It was amazing to live in a community where women who had been through hardships such as divorces and catastrophic illnesses were encouraged to pick up the pieces and move forward with their lives instead of being judged, ridiculed, condemned, and looked down on as where they were at in the epitome of the illness when it was manifesting its worst side and it looked like there was no hope. We're not judged and sent the kind of messages that convey, why don't you just give up? Why don't you just go on? You're worthless. You don't deserve to be here. That was not in the vocabulary at one time, because there was integrity. People were encouraged to come out of it. They were encouraged, once they got into an apartment, to think about investing, because home ownership was the key to real freedom. But as time passed, the lure of authoritarianism, control, the selfishness, the judgment of I'm better than, I'm more special than, I am a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I am a Christian, I'm New Age, I don't believe the same way you do, and therefore we have to have a battle of wills. I remember a time when Democrats and Republicans stood side by side. Christians, Jews, atheists stood side by side for the betterment of the county and the state and the country. This energy is killing us. It is physically killing us. It is going to wipe us out if we don't get a grip. What has it brought in? Well, it has reduced many homeowners to a point of desperation, to where they are now renting out the rooms of their houses in the same manner that was done back in the 1930s during the Great Depression. But the issue is there is a lot less dignity involved in room rentals now, because of the authoritarian and totalitarian views that people have toward those who rent. Did you know that your income that you make should be able to supply the necessities of life and give you the ability to save money? And that is whether you are on a shoestring budget just starting out in life, on Social Security, have had a major illness, or you're flush financially. Your mortgage or your rent should not exceed 30% of your gross income. Yet, many who rent rooms want at least 85 to 95% of that income. That leaves you without food to eat. It leaves you without communication. It leaves you without the necessities of life. Most of the time, you can barely get into the bathroom, so you have to hold your bladder and your bowels. You're not permitted adequate shower time. You're not permitted adequate kitchen time. You are continually looked down on. In many cases, women are facing predatory sexual assault as well as extortion just to keep a roof over their head. In Corona, California, apartments that were meant to be a startup have been turned into condos where the mortgage is about $2,000 a month and the HOA is about $400. I personally think most HOAs are a joke. They are a way to demonize people and extort money. But that is just my personal opinion because it has been my personal experience. I'm sure there are some good ones out there. I just have never experienced them. But the point that I am trying to make is that even those who bought these renovated apartments cannot afford to stay in them. And this is affecting home ownership. This is affecting real estate. There is so much more that I don't have time to go into. But I will tell you this. The amount of displaced people in California is on the rise, and not all of them are methamphetamine addicts. Not all of them are these lowlifes who you would consider lowlifes, who you think never managed their life and they're on the street because they chose to be. I'm going to give you the truth here. Women, in particular, on Social Security disability, are denied Section 8 housing. Solid people, people who work hard, people with horrible, difficult health conditions who are trying to get healthy, to rebuild their lives and go back to work, are directed to homeless shelters by the organizations that claim to place people in housing. Where is the funding going? Has it vanished into the Bermuda Triangle? When you're telling someone on Social Security with a disability or a veteran to go to a homeless shelter, which is run by this authoritarian system, what is going to come next? Are we going to have people rounded up and place all of the undesirables into concentration camps? This is a reality. I urge you to take some time off from the garbage on the internet, from all the fun and games, from all the BSing and the joking around. Crack the book open. Really look at what happened during the Holocaust. Because we, as a state, are in the thralls of it right now. Now, in closing, I'm going to read you something out of a book that you might be interested in. And this is my book. It's called Medical Malpractice, The Uncharted Journey. It's a true story. And it goes into depth about what our system has become and how it treats people. And that ignorance is not bliss. Denial is not the answer. Because at some point, anyone who is in denial is going to get a wake-up call and be forced out of it. So, okay, where I'm going to start with is the right to remain in the physical body has become a privilege. Living a normal life has become obsolete for the average American. People delight in seeing other people suffer. Those at the top rejoice when others can't receive medical care or don't have a place to live. The necessities of life have become a status symbol that few can afford. At this point, we have all the makings for a ghoulish, dystopian society. Much of it is already in place. I know because I have lived it. Yet, I have always known that giving up and giving in isn't the answer. I knew I had to do my part to prevent it at all costs. Though it may not feel like it, you do have a choice. You can be a part of the solution to solve the problem. To remain in denial is to do nothing. It only creates more discord in your life. Facing the truth at an inner level is the first step. When you let go of the denial, your heart opens. It naturally draws in the light that illuminates every aspect of your life. If you choose to do so, you will become a sacred vessel of healing for others on the path. You will become the light of the world. God bless you with all the love of my heart.